I think he's going to be around for 6 to 8 months tops. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Hi everyone, JJ here. Welcome back. Well, is Trump dying or is he having some sort of serious health crisis? That's what we're going to get into today. Yes, I'm diversifying content on this channel. We see here on the Daily Beast, Donald Trump lashed out at MSNBC after the network suggested the 79-year-old president is taking steps to hide his cankles from public view. Could it be true? And we have Alex Jones, no less, saying here we have a crisis. Alex Jones warns that Trump is headed for health collapse. And this is what we're talking about here. Let's just see some of the photos that have been in the media constantly over the past few weeks. So it's sort of getting more and more coverage here. Those are the cankles that people are talking about. There's another shot, and the hands covered up with this makeup, this foundation, it looks like. You think being the president of the US and also a billionaire, they could find a makeup artist who could do a better job than that. Maybe it's him, he just doesn't want it. I don't know. In more shots of that, it's not looking so great there at all. And there's the bruise, covering up the bruise, the actual bruises. If I were to guess, I'd say it was from an IV, wouldn't you? Possibly, but I don't know. I just don't know. And here it's on the other hand as well. One of the excuses that was given, the official excuses, was that he shakes hands too much, and that's why the bruising, which is pretty far-fetched. I don't know who would believe that. Now Trump has bruising on both hands. If this was Biden, it would be wall-to-wall, hysterical coverage on mainstream media, and you'd be digging on the obviously false medical reports we've been provided by Trump for years. It's true that there were those reports of Biden, which turned out to be true. I mean, it was pretty obvious to a lot of people before that debate, I think, but is this the same thing? Both sides playing politics? And here we have Trump in the Oval Office. I think this is just in the last 24 hours, where he's obviously covering up his hands here. Take a look at what he does with his hands, not what he's saying.
It'll be fantastic. You see the way this is looking? Look, nice. I can't tell you how much that gold costs, a lot of money. There's nothing like gold and there's nothing like solid gold, but with this...
He likes gold, that's for sure. He's changed the Oval Office into this gaudy gold palace. Thinks he's a dictator and that's a palace, but see him covering his hand there, and then when he put his hand back, he was not showing it towards the camera, so it's pretty obvious here.
This beautiful office needed it.
This is video that has gone mega viral.
Now the cognitive decline as well that people have been talking about. When he met Putin, he was zigzagging down this carpet. Some people speculated that it was for Secret Service security reasons, but I don't think so. I've seen many presidents before and walking straight line down carpets like this.
And you see Trump walking to greet Putin, and he is carving an extraordinarily strange path, meandering left to right.
Last week, the Pentagon...
This one's about his eyes and his puffy eyes and tearing up. Some maybe medication, maybe something to do with the illness that he's got. Medicated, it says on screen there, with red, sickly eyes in his cabinet meeting today. Let's take a look.
Paused some shipments of weapons to Ukraine. Did you approve of that pause?
We want to put defensive weapons because Putin is not, treating human beings right. He's killing too many people. So we're sending some defense.
Because you can see him.
Okay, so this is Alex Jones, of course, distinctive voice. So this is not some left-leaning person, deeply MAGA, or is he even further than that these days? I don't know. He's been through a lot of things, but listen to what he says about it.
Declining faster and faster. It's not super bad yet, but unlike Biden that was completely shot and had all these brain surgeries and the rest of it, Trump has got great genetics. He's tough, and if he takes care of himself, he can make it through these years and then after. But if he doesn't, he's going to have I predict Trump is going to have some type of collapse within the next 12 months at the current trajectory.
So, yeah, taking care of himself, like eating McDonald's and all that stuff, and drinking Diet Coke and everything. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think about this, by the way, along the way. So, this is a medical professional. Supposedly, found a clip of this. People have been spreading it around who sees people with these kind of symptoms on a daily basis. He says so. Let's see what he has to say about it.
My field, I see congestive heart failure patients on a daily basis. The reason I know that he has congestive heart failure is because of the swelling in his feet and ankles. And the reason I know it's getting worse is because he's sitting behind the desk on camera now. He lashed out against MSNBC for giving him hash about his ankles. This is how we know that something is true, because it gets to Trump. Remember recently where he was talking about going to heaven for some fucking reason? He says, people said I'm not doing very well. I don't think he's talking about the media. I think he's talking about the doctors who are treating him. The only reason his health has been maintained at all is because he has the privilege of getting IV diuretics, spironolactone, Lasix, Bumex, something like that. That's why his hands have been bruised and covered with makeup. Badly, I might add. We know that it's getting worse because he knows he cannot hide the degree of swelling. That's why he's sitting behind the desk. Oh, he also has chronic kidney disease, which is also contributing to the swelling in the feet and ankles. I can't tell you how many times I have seen a patient in their home because they were hospitalized for AKI, or acute kidney injury. And the kidney injury was caused by nephrotoxic medications, namely diuretics, spironolactone, Bumex, Lasix. The president is definitely getting sicker, and we know he's not going to change his diet because he's such a fucking idiot. I think he's going to be around for 6 to 8 months tops. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
By the way, if you're getting value out of this episode so far, I'd really appreciate it if you remember to hit that like button to help the algorithm to spread it to more people. It really does help. Thanks. Okay, so that's another opinion there. I don't know if what he's saying is true. Maybe people in the medical field can chime in here in the comments and see what you think about this. I mean, I don't know. And this is the official line from the White House. This is a few weeks ago now. This is what Caroline had to say in response to some of the queries and comments from the media.
On another note, I know that many in the media have been speculating about bruising on the president's hand and also swelling in the president's legs. So in the effort of transparency, the president wanted me to share a note from his physician with all of you today. In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House Medical Unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease. Laboratory testing included a complete blood count, comprehensive metabolic panel, coagulation profile.
I'll just stop you there. It sounds legit, doesn't it? But I'll point you to the fact that a lot of the previous White House said this about Biden, said things about Biden that turned out not to be true, covering up. So we have to take this again with a grain of salt. I said that in the last video about Elon, what he says with a grain of salt, but again, the press secretary of the White House also with a grain of salt. But it sounds legit, and, you know, are they covering up? It's for us to work out, and I guess we'll find out in time.
D-dimer, B-type natriuretic peptide, and cardiac biomarkers. All results were within normal limits. An echocardiogram was also performed and confirmed normal cardiac structure and function. No signs of heart failure, renal impairment, or systemic illness were identified. Additionally, recent photos of the president have shown minor bruising on the back of his hand. This is consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking.
Okay, I'm calling BS on that one though. As I said, that's just seems to it does not to be true. Who's ever had that much bruising from shaking hands?
And the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen.
So here's what a doctor wrote to me. A number of doctors in the show's audience.
Okay, so this is David Pagman who has a rundown. I'm going to put links to all these clips where I've got this footage from, by the way, various people talking about it.
Interestingly, a number of cardiologists and neurologists This is, again, speculation from doctors who have not personally examined Trump. All we have are the videos of Trump and the statements from the White House to evaluate that. Physical health concerns. Visible hand bruising can be linked to blood thinners, corticosteroids, diabetes, liver, or kidney disease. We don't know what's going on because they won't tell us. This is just a doctor saying this is what it could be. Trump is obese. He has a terrible diet. He has a sedentary lifestyle. He is carrying.
Except for playing golf on the weekends, but he does use a golf cart. But even that is quite a bit of exercise. But we have seen him limping. One of those photos was on the bruising of the hand was him playing golf. He seems to play golf almost every weekend. So that's at least some exercise, not completely sedentary.
A significant amount of extra weight. This puts you at extra risk of diabetes. This puts you at extra risk of fatty liver disease. His gait, that's G-A-I-T, has been observed as unsteady for a long time. Trump often drags one leg when walking. He was unable to walk in a straight line during the meeting with Putin. And he seems to have an increasingly sort of limited affect during recent public appearances. Trump is at high risk for stroke or heart attack. And that is what is all sort of under the potential of the physical health side of it. You then have the cognitive stuff. We have seen significant declines in Donald Trump's diversity of vocabulary, the blunted affect, agitation, impaired memory, poor concentration, disinhibition, inappropriate comments.
I think he probably had that all his life, that one.
Sometimes up all night posting to the internet, and frequently not recognizing people he knows who are sitting right across from him, looking around, where are they, where are they? That is the list of concerning symptoms when it comes to cognitive.
His health.
And now this is from the I've Had It podcast, and they've been on fire lately. If you don't watch this podcast, I do recommend having a watch.
Decline, when you combine it with, he has these moments where he's like, I'm trying to get into heaven. People say I'm not doing well. Well, who are these people? The doctors. Right. The doctors are probably saying, look, we're trying to give you blood thinners. I don't know. I'm not a physician, but we're trying to treat this. All the blood's still down in the cankles. And then he gets online. He gets online chronically. He's chronically online. So he sees all of the memes, and that stuff just sends him into orbit. So the fact that he's going after MSNBC after they did a story on him intentionally hiding the cankles, it's true.
Okay, so you do get that feeling that if he reacts to something in a big way, it tends to be true. And this is why Gavin Newsom has been, making fun, going hard at Donald Trump, imitating him, and that set him off too. Now we have Kyle and Crystal here talking about it.
I don't know, man. I think there might be something to this, that he's got some health struggles.
I mean, he definitely has some health struggles. I am not convinced. I just feel like we're going to be cursed with this man forever. That's what I really feel like. I just feel like he's going to, it seems like the villainous people are the ones just that live for fucking ever. And I did look up, because in America, life expectancy depends very much on what your wealth and income are. And so
that's a good point. And he's got the best medical treatment in the world. Say if he had cancer, he could just get the very best in the world. This is the president of the United States here we're talking about. So, yeah.
You are a wealthy American man. Your average life expectancy, you can expect to live to around the high 80s or even 90s for those in the highest income or wealth percentiles, significantly longer than their less affluent counterparts. Yeah, to that, he's president of the United States now. On the one hand, maybe that makes it more stressful for him, but I don't see that he really feels the burden and the weight of the decisions that he's making. So he's going to get the best healthcare in the world. I did ask, someone who's a medical professional about his particular diagnosis, and it does not seem to be terribly serious. He is older, so it's very common once you get older, you start contemplating your legacy and your mortality. So to talk about heaven in that context is very weird, but anyway, that sort of lines up.
That's some good points there from Crystal. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments. I know we're not doctors here. Well, some of you might be. Some of you might be a medical professional, so do chime in if you think there's something there to talk about. Do let us know. And this, the politics angle, of course, the cover-up that definitely happened under Biden is definitely the case. And it was revealed in that debate, that disastrous debate. And so they let that go on too long. So let me know what you think in the comments. And right now I'm going to put above me a link to a related video. Do go and see that now. This is a bit different to usual. This one you might have noticed. So I'm interested to see how it goes. And also a subscribe link on screen. Do subscribe if you want to get more of these kinds of videos from me in the future. All these videos here. So I'm doing some artwork at the moment. It's going to be an inkjet print. Well, I've done one that's behind me here already. I'm going to be doing some more based on the thumbnails of the shows. So do subscribe to get more of these kinds of videos from me in the very near future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.